What's up, you guys? Welcome to season 2 of the prep series. Starting it a little bit later this year. We're currently 4.5 weeks out, so I thought it would be better just to have the videos a little bit closer to the show because I feel like that's where all the fun happens. Today is meal prep day. Normally I do it on Mondays, but schedule took a turn, so I'm glad that I had some meals prepped for Monday. So we're gonna run to the store now, and I'm going to grab some things to cook at home, and I'm gonna walk you guys through my meal prep at 4.5 weeks out. Then we're gonna come back here and we're gonna do a back width workout, which I'm gonna walk you through as well. So it's gonna be a pretty cool day. But yeah, first things first, I need to wake up a little bit, so I'm gonna go grab myself a coffee, and then we're gonna go to the store and get started. Thank you. So we're just about 4.5 weeks now from Emerald Cup, and honestly, I'm super excited this year. Last year, of course, I was excited because it was my first time, but this year I'm bringing a better package. So, I'm excited to see where I stand this year. And I was going to be doing the Vancouver Open again this weekend, but unfortunately, I just, I didn't end up wanting to do it. Mentally, I just wasn't there, didn't feel ready, but now I feel ready, and I shouldn't have gotten in my head about it, but I did really well last year. It's more of like a smaller show, warm-up show, and I mainly care about my progress at Emerald Cup, so I'm super excited to see how that comes out this year. I'll be honest with you guys, this past off-season, it wasn't really the best for me, and to be honest, I cheated quite a lot. I had a lot of cheat meals, didn't really stick to the plan a lot, and so ended up looking the way that I wasn't supposed to be looking. I would have had a much tighter look compared to the way I did if I, had stuck with my meals and been a little more on top of it. I did have my meals, but it just, it wasn't consistent. So kind of let myself go and let myself down in that way. One thing that scared me about this prep was that I wasn't going to look as good as I did last year because of that reason. But my coach and I had some hard talks, and it lit a fire under me, and now I've been just grinding really hard, and I feel so good right now. I feel much better than I did last year, more motivated to do things. And honestly, in my opinion, like being in the off season, you don't really feel as motivated to do much, and I think it's because you don't feel your best. Now I look my best. That means I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna feel my best. I feel more motivated to do more things. So yeah, it was kind of a hard thing to look back at when I reevaluated my off season. And so I made it a challenge to myself to take on summer shredding with Alpha Elite in October this year, which means that gives me more time to, stay lean, stay on plan, bring an even better package later this year. And I think the one challenge is that I'm going to pretty much be prepping for the majority of the year, but this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I feel like it's going to be something good to look back on, and it's really going to just define, the kind of person I am. I'm super excited to see how that goes, and I'm also excited to just, stay dedicated and, put myself to a higher standard, because I know that me being on, me cheating and stuff like that, that's not the standard I want to set for myself and others. I think this year is the year that I want to prove myself and make sure that I am dedicated and I am willing to put in the work and not let myself go. Alright guys, so me and Marley are about to whip up some simple meals over here. So this was all under 50 bucks and it will last me the whole week. You don't need a whole lot. For me, I stick with all the lean meats. So I got 3 ground turkey breasts. One of these, they make 2 servings for me. So 2 different boxes. Same goes for the ground beef, and there'll also be some left over that totals up to an extra box. For the ground turkey, I make sure I get 99% lean and 1% fat. Ground beef, I also make sure I get a higher lean number. So the highest I've found is 96% and 4% fat. You'll find that at Trader Joe's. If you have a Trader Joe's near you, I'd highly recommend shopping there. You could also stop by Whole Foods, Safeway isn't bad, Kroger, whatever's nearby to you. Asparagus, so I'll be needing about 6 to 7 spears per meal that I have with the ground turkey. Pineapple, so this is my vitamin C for post-workout. I can only have about 50 grams of it, so like maybe 3 little chunks post-workout to have with my ground beef. And I've noticed a really good difference with my recovery with having vitamin C post-workout. I'm a lazy cooker, so the faster the better. I don't really take the time to boil eggs, so I just buy a package of 6 boiled eggs and I have one for breakfast every morning with my oatmeal. One thing that you haven't seen in this video was my first meal. So I would have oats and I'd have some ground turkey and then one of these guys. Very basic, nothing too crazy. And then rice, I do jasmine rice. And I make about 6 to 7 cups for the week. It's now cooking in the rice cooker. And I'm gonna start cooking the meats right now. I'm waiting for the oven to warm up so I can put the asparagus in there. So this all takes me about 45 minutes to an hour. At first, meal prepping can take a while and it's a little bit overwhelming. One time it took me about 2 hours. Now I've been able to multitask and narrow it down to 1 hour. So let's get to it. And then I'm gonna eat my first pre-workout meal. And then we're gonna head over to the gym and do some lats. All right, so seasonings that I use for the chicken and the beef. I like to use the Tony, I don't know how to say this. We're just gonna call it Tony, but the Creole seasoning. I found a no salt one, which really helps with sodium intake. I wasn't able to find it this time around, so I just got the regular one, which is just as good and has tons of flavoring, goes well with everything. Then we've got onion and paprika, which is really good. And then at Trader Joe's, I actually found a sriracha seasoning. I can't do too much spicy, but I do like spice. So I just add a little bit of it. And then pink salt is something that is really good to add into your meats. All right, so we just finished cooking the meats. Rice just finished around the same time, so perfect timing. Asparagus is also done, so all we have to do now is measure out the rice and then lay out the asparagus and then just put everything in the freezer. I'm actually gonna have one of these before we head out as my pre-workout meal. And one thing that I haven't explained, these past few weeks I've been on a carb cycle, so I've had 3 high carb days, 2 medium carb days, and then 2 no carb days. Those are like the most challenging for me, of course. With my high carb days, I'll have like a higher amount of rice. My low carb days, fairly amount of good rice before my workout, but the last meal of the day, there's like hardly any rice in there. Probably about that much rice in the container. So, but everything else is pretty much measured the same. And yeah, now I'm just gonna lay everything out and it shouldn't take too much longer. Let me grab my scale. All right, so this is pretty much it. And this will last me 4 days of the week. And then I have my no carb days on the weekends, so I don't really have to worry much about prepping for that until like Thursday. Because all I really need is my greens and my proteins. But other than that, super cheap shop like 50 bucks under that even, unless there's a couple other things that you want to buy, like spices and sauces every now and then. Super tasty too. Like, I always look forward to these meals, especially being on prep when I'm always hungry. Yeah, so I've also divided everything here. So these are my higher carb days. So we've got a higher amount of rice. Pretty much all of these are the same amount for my pre-workouts, but then the post-workouts are the ones that are different, or should I say the last meal of the day, because these are my post-workouts, and these have the most rice in it. These ones here, it's divided by, there's 100 grams of rice in this one, 40 grams of rice in this one, which is hardly anything. You probably saw the amount there before, 100 grams, 40 grams. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna box everything up now. I'm gonna take one of these now as my pre-workout meal. The rest is all gonna go boxed up into the freezer. I'm also gonna take one of these for my post-workout as well. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of mustard to my food for just some extra flavor. And there's also not many calories in that too. There's only like a little bit of sodium, and that's it. So yeah, that's it. And I'm gonna go ahead and eat this now, and then I'm gonna clean up, and then we're gonna head over to the gym and get the good stuff in. All right, so we just did a warm up with some pull-ups. Now I'm gonna do my first main exercise, which is a single arm row. Now, a lot of people tend to put both feet on each side of these guys, but how I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna put one foot, gonna kind of do like a crossover. So my right foot's gonna be on the left side here, and I'm gonna grab onto the handle and row this way so I can get more range of motion in my back and really hit it in that lower lat area to give more of that wider lat illusion, right? High volume here, 3 sets of about 15 to 20 reps each side. So let's check it out, let's get to it. All right, so this next one's gonna be a V-bar row. For this one, to really develop the lats, I'm gonna be pulling it towards my belly button instead of higher up, because we're working more in width today instead of the thickness. If you're doing thickness, you'd wanna get a little bit higher and get those muscles up top. Not too heavy with the weight here. I'm also feeling the effects of prep now. My last couple of weeks catch up to me, so the strength starts to die down a little bit, and I just focus more on high volume. Yeah, we're gonna bring it down to the belly button and then really feel those low lats contract and kind of like feel like a Christmas tree forming at the bottom of your back. So that last exercise was my favorite, and I started doing this like a few weeks back, and it's already just made a huge difference, giving me that like X figure almost. So like a narrow waist, wide lats ratio, Christmas tree in the backs pop in. So that's a good one if you want to try it. It's the same thing as like a standing push down, but on the seat it makes it harder. And you want to work with a lighter weight obviously with that one, because you really just want to feel that squeeze as you pull through. You don't want to like ego lift that and swing the weights or anything like that. You want to be able to feel that full contraction. And honestly, I feel it more doing it lying down than doing it standing, but it all comes down to preference depending on how you feel it
but I'd highly recommend that if you want to try something new and want to see if that works for you. Overall, that was the back workout. I like to finish with a bit of triceps on my back width days, just because I have very sore joints on my elbows, especially when I do any pressing movements. So like yesterday I hit chest, so my elbows start to give out later on during the workout. So I like to keep my joints kind of fluid throughout the week by adding a bit of triceps twice a week as well. And that's also an area that I want to grow more of, is my arms, especially for my stage presence this year. So I'm going to throw in like an extra 1 or 2 exercises for the triceps, hit a bit of abs at the end, and then that will be the workout done. Alright guys, so that was pretty much the day in the life of what I do during prep. You guys got to take a look at my meal prep and also what I hit on my back width days. Normally I hit back twice a week, so I'll do back width one day, back thickness on the weekend. So I'll take you guys through back thickness one of these days. Hope this video was helpful to you guys. Thank you guys for joining my journey. Really appreciate you all and your constant support. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how we do the next 4.5 weeks. I'll catch you guys next week, about 3.5 weeks out. And yeah, let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you guys want to see next, if you guys have any questions. Also, if you're interested in online coaching, please click the link below and I will be happy to schedule a call with you and I can tell you guys a little bit more about how we go about things. Other than that, you can follow me on Instagram, Manified Coaching. So look out for consistent value. You can also follow me on TikTok. I post a lot of my videos on there too. Yeah guys, thank you for joining me again and I will catch you guys in the next video.